Hey everybody, welcome back to the SpoonieFiles. This is Sandra, aka Kitty of Kitty Speaks. I'm here today with another edition, and I'm sorry y'all, I promise y'all I'm not like the ugly stepsister, but I just finished recording like 2 or 3 videos for my Kitty Speaks channel, and I got ready to record this video and I was all out of juice in my camera, so I'm recording this with my tablet because I want to make sure that it gets up today. So when I record videos with my tablet, the quality, excuse me, I have GERD. I bet 85% of y'all got it too, so but anyway, the quality is not as good when I record with my tablet. Y'all would think that I'm listening to something right now. The only thing that I am doing is talking to y'all. I just lost my scarf. Anyway, okay, so y'all are not the ugly stepsister. Before I get off track, but I am recording this with my tablet because you are extremely important, and I want to get your video out on time. So therefore, we do what we got to do. What I want to talk to y'all about today is not a question that anybody sent in. It's a situation that I am in, and I'm like really upset, and I'm just getting to the point where I can smile really. Like, I've been upset since this happened about maybe 3 o'clock this afternoon, and I just had to I finished talking to hubby, and then I came in here and I started playing in makeup to make myself feel better. That's why my face is all made up like I'm going somewhere, and I'm sitting here in my pajamas. So this is what had happened. I don't know what percentage of you guys are on Medicare, but I am on Medicare. I am permanently disabled. I've been on Medicare since 2007. It doesn't actually kick in until, first of all, you gotta wait. I waited like 2 years before I got approved for disability. And then whatever calendar year you get approved in, you have to wait until the next calendar year before you get Medicare coverage. So I've only had Medicare since 2007. But we recently had annual enrollment. I think it was to like December 7th or something like that. And I really didn't like the Part D coverage that I had last year because I've been a customer at CVS Pharmacy for years. They treat you like family. They always know your meds. They pay attention to if there's a new prescription you have and it's going to have a bad reaction with something that you're already on. When Oscar goes and fills my prescriptions, they always welcome him. Hello, Mr. Jones. Like, Jones is my maiden name. His last name is Boyd, but they greet him, hello, Mr. Jones. So they know you. And that is a really good feeling. The pharmacist pays attention to when my medications are coming due. I never have a problem that they don't have a medication that I need because they pay attention to when I come in every month, and they make sure that they order my medication ahead of time. I've been a customer with them for many years, and it's always been a great relationship. Well, last calendar year, my Part D coverage decided that CVS Pharmacy was not a preferred partner anymore, and that I would need to go to either Walmart, Kmart, or Walmart, Walgreens, or Kmart to get my prescriptions. None of those were a good fit. Okay, we only have one Kmart, first of all. Walmart sucks. Really bad. And I'm sorry if you get your meds at Walmart and you love it. I'm happy for you. I promise you I am. If you like it, I love it. But I literally can't. I despise Walmart. Every time I go to Walgreens, I'm sorry, we're talking about Walgreens. Some of this stuff that I'm saying applies to Walmart too, but I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting sick. So, pray for me. Just pray. I need Jesus. Pray for me, please. Walgreens is awful. You go take your prescription to Walgreens, and they're like, okay, it'll be ready. You can go in at 9 o'clock in the morning. They'll tell you it'll be ready at 6 o'clock p.m. Or they'll tell you it'll be ready tomorrow at 9. They're just so jacklegged. It's just ridiculous. they'll tell me my prescriptions will be ready at a certain time. You drop them off. First of all, they make you sit there and wait while they doing all this stuff they doing. And they do all of that stuff. And they don't tell you that we don't have your meds in stock. So they wait till you come back at 6 p.m. and tell you, I'm sorry, we didn't have it. They don't bother to call you or nothing. They let you come back to the store to tell you. It just, Walgreens is awful. So we've been going to Walmart this past year because I kind of like flat out refused Walgreens, and we only have one Kmart, and it's in a town that's like, takes you 20 minutes to get to. So we've been going to Walmart, and I promise you, bar none, every time I go to Walmart, there's a problem. I have to take that back. There's been maybe like 2 or 3 times when I've gone to Walmart and they say your meds will be ready in 20 minutes and I get my meds in 20 minutes. Most of the time, there's a problem. It usually leaves Oscar really, really frustrated. And he is the type of man that is very level-headed. At most times, it's very hard to take him off his square. If you have made him upset, you worked really hard to do it. I'm just going to flat out say that. He's usually very, very, there's not much, but he gets really, really frustrated when it's prescription time. So, but we decided when it was time for open enrollment, because I could go, if I go to Walmart, I don't pay anything for my prescriptions. We decided that instead of me trying to find more coverage, we would just stick with this coverage and stick with the situation that we're having with Walmart. So I go in yesterday to get my meds. There's only 5. Now, I am on probably like 14 different prescription medications. And for those of you who say, that's too much meds, blah, 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 okay, I understand. For you, that doesn't work. For me, in order to maintain the quality of life that I have, where I'm able to, make videos and put on makeup and, take myself to the bathroom, I need all of my medication. It took my doctors 2.5 years to come up with the right cocktail or right mix of medication that would give me a little bit better quality of life. And I still spend 90% of my day in bed, every day. There are days when I get up and I do a little bit, but on average, about 90% of my day is spent in bed. And I spend about 95% of my entire life in the house. I leave the house to go to the doctor, or if we have to go to the hospital, or if I have to go have an MRI or something. Other than that, I'm in the house. So I need my medicine, and I need it to be at a price point that I can afford, that I don't have to choose between taking care of my children and being well. I go to pick up my prescriptions at Walmart yesterday after we decided that we would stick with the plan that I have. And it was only 5 prescriptions. And they're like, okay, $53.37, Miss Jones. Oh? Wait a minute. Pump the brakes, partner. Did you just say 53? I'm like, why? Why? So he's going down the list, and every one of the medications has a cost associated with it. Now, I knew I was going to have to pay for my syringes. I give myself an injection every week. I knew that the syringes weren't covered, but usually all of my other medicines are covered at full cost. Well, it's a Sunday. It's not like I can call the insurance company and ask what's going on. So I had to wait till today. And I get a call from the insurance company while I was dealing with something else. I wasn't about to call them yet. I was making other calls. And I get a call saying, yeah, your medication that we flat out denied that wasn't covered, you're going to need a prior authorization for it. And if you need to put in an appeal, you can put in an appeal, but it's going to take 7 to 10 days. And I hadn't even paid attention to the fact that I hadn't brought that medicine home with me. So I'm like, what is going on? First of all, I didn't get a new card for the new year. I didn't get any type of notice that there were going to be changes to the cost of my medication. The only notice that I got was, we're changing your mail-in pharmacy from this pharmacy to this pharmacy. That was the only notification that I got. So I was already on 10 when we started the phone conversation with the rep. I was already up there. I'm like, listen, I didn't get no card. I didn't get no notification. Like, what is going on? So she's like, well, do you want to talk to a supervisor? Yeah, you need to put a supervisor on the phone. So I told the lady I wanted to talk to a supervisor. She's still trying to talk to me. Now, let me just tell you, most of the time, I am a very nice person. Most people will tell you that I'm too nice. I err on the side of just being way too... I'm also the type of person that it takes a lot to get me upset with you. But once I have gotten upset with you, you are going to have a really hard time getting me unupset. So I'm like, chick, I already told you I wanted to speak to your supervisor. Can you please put the supervisor on the phone? The supervisor gets on the phone and says, well, we made changes to our program where all tier 2 drugs now are going to have a copay. And if you have tier 1 drugs, those are going to be covered. But if they're tier 2 and above, they're all going to have a copay. And I said, ma'am, I don't have any drugs that are tier 1. I may have one. Most of the stuff that's tier 1, I go and I buy it over the counter. I don't need prescription coverage for something I can buy over the counter. So she's like, yeah, well, we don't even have any plans. You're in our preferred plan, preferred X. Let me just tell you, I'm paying a lot of money to have this Part D plan, by the way. But we don't have any plans that we can switch you to, and unless you get extra help, or you have moved, or there's like some sort of extenuating circumstances, you have to stay with this plan until next enrollment period. She just told me all year I'm going to be in a situation where I can't afford my medication. So she's like, well, and I said, you know what? If you're telling me that there's nothing you can do for me and you're the supervisor, I don't really see a reason for us to continue having this conversation. I'm talking to her just like I'm talking to you right now. This is how I was like, really, I was hostile. I'm going to admit it. I was hostile. But I felt like there's no reason for me to talk to you anymore. Now you're at the point where you're wasting my time. There's like no reason that I need to talk to you if you can't help me. So she was like still talking, and I'm like, Miss Jones. Then she starts calling my name. Are you there, Miss Jones? Miss Jones? And I'm like, I'm sorry, maybe you didn't hear me, but I just said goodbye. Because what I had said was goodbye. And she just kept talking, and I'm like, if you didn't hear me say goodbye, I said goodbye. I really don't feel like there's a reason to continue conversing with you if you, like, I'm done. I'm done talking. So she's like, okay, well, if we can, no, God, stop, goodbye. And that, I was at the point where I was being rude. And I'm generally not rude. So now, I really don't know what I'm going to do. And I know that I'm not the only person that has this situation. I know that somebody listening to this video right now is in a similar situation or has been going through a similar situation. And this is not the first time that this has happened to me. Like, there was one point where my meds was like $1,100 a month. And I'm like, seriously, you're telling me I can pay rent or I can... and I'm not a person who is, I was in a car accident and I'm in a temporary situation where, I got tennis elbow, I got tinnitus and I can get some eardrops. So, I'm in a permanent situation, and it's just ridiculous to me that in the #1 country in the world, you have to make these types of choices where you can have your medicine or you can eat or you can have a roof over your head, or like, why would you put me in this situation? They know that I'm permanently disabled or I wouldn't be on Medicare. Every single medication that I take. How does this happen in this country? I don't understand, because I literally do not know what I'm going to do. And I think either tomorrow or the next day is going to be the day where I need my pain meds. And I'm just, I mean, I'm scared. I'm scared of what they're going to say when it's time for me to fill my pain medication, which is morphine. And I don't have just one morphine. I have 2 morphine prescriptions every month. And so, yeah, I just wanted to rant about it to people who understand, to people who know what I'm going through, because, I mean, the lady was like, I understand what you... No, you don't. No. Don't even try to act like no, because you don't understand what I'm going through. And I think that that is the problem. That most of these people who are making these policy choices about our life and our, you know, and our healthcare coverage and all this, they really don't understand what we're going through. To them, it's just, you know, they need to make the decisions that are best for their bottom line, or so that they can have a good quarter or whatever it is. They lose sight of the fact that we are people, that there are people's lives that they're messing with when they do stuff like this. So, yeah, I'm like really livid about it. And I had just got to the point where I could like start laughing and smiling again. And talking about it, I think I'm upset again. So I need to go somewhere and de-stress myself. I'm going to go, I don't know, eat a bowl of cereal or something. I don't know, because I'm hungry and I'm upset. And, yeah, that's what I want to talk about. So I would like your feedback. Are you going through some sort of issue with your prescription medication coverage? I'd like us to have a conversation about it. Let's all share. This is our channel. This is our forum. This is our platform. I hope that I'm not just talking to you. I'm hoping that you're talking back. So, in any event, I'm going to go wash my face and, eat a bowl of cereal and try to relax. And so, as always, until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. Ciao.